Hi everyone, welcome back to Read Time,
I'm Austin.
and I'm John.
Today on this special quarantined episode of Read Time, we're going to be focusing in on one of the most important processes when making a read.
Forming.
This is where cane becomes read. We go from raw material to beautiful final product.
Absolutely, Austin. The cane we're going to be using today has been soaking for a little bit. That way it's malleable, it's easy to move. That way we can squish it around and make it into the read we want.
Now, usually when we're talking about forming, we're looking at a very specific set of tools made for reed making and honestly very expensive. We're looking at special pliers, mandrels, forming mandrels, specialized string, and all of this just costs way too much, and we know that. So here at Read Time, we are dedicated to showing you those budget tips and tricks. So John,
Absolutely.
will you show us what we're using today?
Austin,
John?
I am very excited to be showing our viewers the tools that we have found for them to use at home.
Me too, John.
Dude, we have found these all over the place. We found them in the garage. We found them in the kitchen. We found them in the bedroom.
We found them in the trash can even. I mean, you have to scavenge so much, and you can find some amazing tools. Get your little grubby fingies on there.
Absolutely. So we got our standard household hammer. We got two different kinds of pliers. Great stuff right here.
Yeah.
We got a screwdriver. We got a magic wand.
Never know when that might be needed.
Absolutely. You know that you're going to need all the magic you can get. We got some pencils, and we got a nail punch. We also have some used dental floss that we'll be using later.
Yeah, I always used dental floss. I don't.
Absolutely.
There's no reason in wasting the new floss. That's what I always say.
We're all about green here at Read Time.
Yep, no doubt. So the first thing we're going to do here today, we are going to take a more traditional approach on this part, John. We're going to use one wire, and we're just going to place that wire right around the first top part of this reed. If you look, I'm just going to wrap it around very carefully. Give it a good 1, give it a good 2, give it a 3, and honestly, we don't need to be precision here. This just needs to be on that cane just to give it a little bit of support.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are done with our traditional reed making steps now, and we are going to the budget tips and trips. The budget tips and tricks.
All right, Austin, how about we start with this pencil for
That
today?
is a great suggestion.
Such
John.
a household item. You may not have a wand laying around. You know, we want to make sure that it's user-friendly.
But John, I'm going to split the reed. What do I need to do?
Dental floss,
Dental
Austin.
floss. That is where we are going wrong. So what you need to do, you need to take this dental floss. You need to do a wrap, wrap, wrap. We're going to speed this up for your sake, just so we can get in there. We're going to do wrap, wrap, wrap. What this is doing is supporting the reed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't mean a rap, John. Don't start singing over there.
I
Oh my
was
gosh.
about to.
He was about to.
Yes. Wrapping this cane, it feels so good. We're gonna make a read, cause it's read time, bro. Wrapping this cane, it feels so good. We're gonna make a read, cause it's read time, bro.
All right. So we're done wrapping with the dental floss now. This reed is supported as
Absolutely.
ever. We're going to thread this right on. Right here. You just plug that in.
Yep.
Give it a gentle squeeze. And that cracking sound,
Tasty.
that's what we're looking for.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for. And you know what? Sometimes just a squeeze is not enough.
Right.
Right. And that's where the hammer comes into play. John, will you show us the technique?
I will, absolutely. You got to be very gentle. The tip is a very important part of the read.
It is.
But
But you know what I always say? A love tap never hurts.
that's very true.
There we go.
That's feeling good.
And you see that little bit of kind of fold on the tip?
It's okay.
I don't mind it.
We're going to chop it off.
I don't mind it. It's the read. It's the read time way.
From there, you got to take your pliers and you got to give it a good smushing.
Let's give it a good smush.
Good smushing.
Right there. Oh, see,
Oh,
perfect.
man. Oh,
That's
man.
what we're looking for.
Yeah,
that tells
absolutely.
you the reed is ready. We're gonna move on to the second step here. We're gonna go over to a screwdriver. It's got a little more support, a little more rigidity, and a little bit less graphite, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. So we're gonna thread that on there again, using some gentle pushes and maybe one more tap of the hammer.
One more tap of the hammer.
Let's give it another
We'll be
tap.
very gentle.
Perfect. Loving it. So we've come to the last step in our forming process for today. This one is an optional step, of course, but it is one that we have found we love due to this time-saving tip.
Absolutely.
So the key is we are going to light this reed on fire. And you know why we're going to light it on fire, John?
It's because it's so soaked, we don't want it to get warped. So we got to dry it out as quickly as possible.
Exactly. We're going to dry the readout as quickly as we possibly can using some flames.
For our users at home, you want to be really careful. We don't recommend you do this unless you're a professional like we are. We've trained.
We have trained in the fire arts.
fire
So, John,
arts.
let's get this guy lit up.
Let's get it going, man.
There we go. Flambe, as I like to say.
Absolutely.
Give it a little blow, and
Yep.
look at that. This reed is drying actively.
Yes, very quickly.
You see the embers? That tells you that we are in good shape.
And what's really nice is it's already taken care of the corners for you.
So we are one step closer to this reed being finished. The next step, we're letting this dry.
Yep.
Gotta let it dry, I'd say for a few days at the very least.
Yep, absolutely.
So we'll be back and we'll let you know how to finish this guy up in the next episode of Read Time. Thanks so much.